Hey guys, it's me Walter Schumann, and well, today I am just looking for um, my regular practice, but I thought I should share a few moments with you on, let's just say, Bruch. Can I come closer? Oh, that's actually perfect. A Bruch Violin Concerto. Bruch Violin Concerto is very. Hey Florian, nice to see you. Today this is like a personal practice session. So this is not a concert, but here I am about to talk about Bruch, Max Bruch Violin Concerto, and it's something that makes me very much impression how to relate to what the master Bruch wanted, the composer. This specifically edition is edited by and reversed by Ferdinand, Garri, and I actually very much like the idea. If you have ever had a chance to see great musicians in the past. Some are applying the octaves from the very beginning on the very one of the sections, but the other based on the original urtext by Max Bruch will play it differently. So I am emphasis on the original text by Max Bruch. So here we go. And once again, this is a concerto that I recently wanted very much to recover. In the past, I played Max Bruch, but I was student. That means about 10 years ago, and so I haven't had a chance to very much practice that or do something that I really minute in the time to play with an orchestra. But however, after so many years, when I was student at a high school, that always falls off, and it's an embarrassment every time to have to pick them all up. So I probably will make sure put it in here instead. This way is going to be covered. My shoulder is going to be a little swollen, but yeah. So, and it's extremely uncomfortable. It's sliding off. Now it's better. So the theme starts very much in clarinets and in the orchestra, and goes in a very beautiful melody. And interesting fact is that the composer says solo ad libitum. Solo ad libitum in Italian means very freely. So when you start the main theme from the concerto Max Bruch, it should start with a fermata, the crown, which corona, which means you have to stay on the tone. Even it's allegro moderato, not to forget, lots of the musicians have gone through a very fast tempos. That's not the idea. The idea is allegro moderato and has nothing to do with the fast. So you have to be, so what allegro moderato means is it's fast but moderately fast. So the idea is not to be fast practically. The idea is to be moderately fast, and the expression of the melody is very interesting. So here we have this melody, which it's interesting. So you see this beautiful pastoral, hey oboe, you see this, you hear this beautiful pastoral melody. So, but interesting fact, shall we put a little vibrato on an open string? How this does work, and it actually works pretty well. So I'm gonna show you a trick that you have to go, you know, when you apply, and it starts in forte. Many musicians start in mezzo piano like, no, it starts steady, stir, with no pressure, but so the melody starts with a corona, and then, yeah, this is Bruch Concerto, exactly. So the melody starts with a corona in the very beginning that stays over there, and finish the melody on the top, D, again with corona. Since the composer states solo ad libitum, which means very freely, the way the musician feels like. But it also, musicians should take in consideration that melody still has a form of tempo, and we should follow a certain amount of speed or shape. We should follow the metronome, the little, you know, this, because there are still 8 notes, there are still quarter notes, so we have to look at that too. So in the very beginning, the composer states that the tone should be steady and fast, but at the same time should what? Transcend from one state to another. Then the orchestra comes, and then all this melody, the first time, hey, how are you? All this melody comes from ad libitum, and the second time when the solo comes, the composer is not requiring or asking for ad libitum. So you have to follow strict metronome, strict tempo. For that reason, but it's interesting, combining the two themes, combining the two introductions, they become as one part, as one melody. So I'm going to play without stopping in between, and it's going to be a whole phrase. And the chords come here in the orchestra. You see? So it's so logically written that even the intermission between makes it possible the musicians to see the idea of the composer, right? So let's start from the very beginning. We have to make sure as musicians to represent this pastoral, this beautiful emotional state, you know. It starts with calmity, with lots of deepness and self-absorbed, but at the same time not in a bad way, but self-absorbed thoughts of very human, you know, questioning about life, about eternity. And so the person stays and he thinks, you know, there. So his or her thoughts are somewhere out there in the future, you know, like. And then we get to the point of fortissimo. Yeah, it says marcato. But between these two notes, tam, ba, bam, most of the musicians, including me, sometimes make the mistake to cut off the sound, to interrupt the sound, but there is no interruption. You know, it should stay complete. It's marcato, but at the same time connected. You know, at the very last moment here, somewhere in the bow, you just switch. You see, it's the difference is different than, right? So that's what the composer wants. And it's possible the strong bow, sforzato. There is a sforzato. The first time there is no sforzato. So. So what is the trick here? The trick is to not hit very much the top notes here. That is the one that should be sustained, not the lower tone. That's what will make the chord. The composer gives the time the musicians to go on the octave. I strongly suggest when you go all the way up, this B flat, then go, move, transitioning to G with the fourth finger. This will secure your octave. One, two. I would strongly suggest you don't go to E string, but only keep A. Right? That's what I would suggest. Also, I would suggest that your fingers doesn't go too high. It's something very, very beautiful moment. Make sure you check up on your instruments once in a while. Hey. So that also makes. So. If you would like to do it, just do it with both ways, you know. First and fourth. Or you can do it differently. Then use the third. First and third. Yep, that I would suggest strongly. It's all up to you. If you feel like you want to do the first and fourth, do it. Sometimes it's the distance is too short. That will provide a little bit different fingering and different spacing. Yeah. But if you want to be more attached to each other, then make it with first and third. Yep, I would, if you want more fleshy, more sustained sound, strong sound, I probably would go with first and third finger instead. Yep.
Hello.
Hello.